Hi y'all, it's Alec and Cindy with Sharing the Journey. Travel day 4. Travel day 4 consisted of 6.2 miles, I think. So we didn't film that, but we wanted to give you an update. So we went to the generator place in Kimbrough, Alabama. I'll put their names down here. It's like Kimbrough. Anyway,
something like that.
They're the service center for the Tiffin factory. So the Tiffin factory in Red Bay's 40 to 60 miles away. They do all the tires for them, put them all on the chrome rims and stuff, and they troubleshoot any generator problems. They're also one of the largest Onan dealers, and they do the big generators they put on like on top of hospitals and stuff. So that's where we went. We had
and really nice people.
Very nice, down-to-earth people. When we get set up in Montana, we're going to do a whole thing on what they were telling me that Thor has done.
Oh wow, that was the whole
to the
thing.
Brand. It's
but anyway,
so sad.
That's not what we're talking about tonight.
So, generator is fixed. We actually found this really cute campground. I'm gonna do a review on it tomorrow, so it'll be the next video you see after this one. I think I'm about a week behind on posting videos because we've been doing so much.
So busy.
But generator is fixed. So when I was in Rockport, when we were in Rockport, I had the mobile tech come by that did my slide topper, did my fireplace, did my roof leak, did the leak underneath the sink.
All right, and he adjusted cabinets.
He adjusted. He did a lot of work, but he
did good work.
Yeah. So I had him look. I said, look, the generator ran fine 6 weeks ago. I tried to crank it, it won't run. So he went over and looked at it. I said, would you look at it and see if you can fix it? He spent about 15 minutes looking at it and said, what did he say? He said it was a code 13 and code 14. He said, so I've got to replace your carburetor and replace the governor on the...
Okay, long story short though, is you're starting to get in the weeds.
No, I was just telling him what happened. There's no weeds involved in generators.
But long story short, generators are not his forte.
No. So we drove up here and we got here yesterday afternoon, and they said, you know, you can go over to our little campground. They have a campground about a block and a half away. It's free. You can stay there while we're working on your coach. But so they said that we open at 5:30 in the morning. That's when the guys get here. So you need to have your coach over here by 6:15, 6:30 at the latest. And so you don't have to worry about driving over. We've got, I think it was 3 spots there at the place that have a 50 amp service and coming out mounted to the side of the building. And then there were, I think, 2 water bibs, freshwater bibs, potable water. We didn't hook up to that. So we just plugged in. We didn't pull any of the slides out. We didn't do anything. We literally just plugged the coach in. So if you saw the travel day 3 video, at the end of that video, I've got, I filmed for that setup where we were parked at the factory, how we were plugged in, and how we were closed up. So you can go back and watch that. So we get there at about 6:20 this morning. It was right on the road, very noisy. Cindy, how much sleep did you get?
0.
0 sleep. So, and we've been pushing it hard.
I mean, really, it was like sleeping
on a racetrack at NASCAR.
I mean, it was
big trucks going down the road with their Jake brakes going off all night long. So, we pull in there about 6:20. Cindy sends me for a biscuit. If you saw travel day 3, she didn't get a biscuit, so I went down and got her.
He said you got to get up early to get a biscuit.
Yeah, so we got up at 5:30.
Guess who was up early this morning?
So we got a biscuit, and I'm coming back, and the gentleman who's working, I walked through the service bay to the lounge, and he's changing the oil and generator. I said, "You've already got it fixed?" He said, "Yeah, the throttle was sticking a little bit, shouldn't have caused a problem. I lubed that up for you." He said it was low on oil. I said, well, I checked, or I had the RV tech said he checked it and it had plenty of oil in it. He goes, no, it was definitely low on oil. He says, I added some oil to it. It cranked right up. It's running fine. I've lubed up the throttle cable connector.
But, so we learned stuff about the generator this time.
That just because it says code 1314 doesn't mean it's not low on oil.
Yeah. Learn the basics about your equipment and check behind people, or check it before you have someone come out.
Yeah, because we drove roughly 800 miles out of our way to get up here.
Out of our way.
So now we've still got 2,000 miles to Montana.
But I will say, I would have rather come here, gotten it serviced by a technician that I know knows what they're doing and knows what they're looking at, because this is my house and I want to make sure that everything is running like it needs to. And we killed 2 birds with one stone.
So I got him to change the oil in the generator. I got him to change the air filter. I got him to change the fuel filter, and I got him to change the oil filter in the generator. And then I had him do the same thing with the V10 on Tiffy. And I use synthetic oil. I usually use Mobil 1. He says he only puts Motorcraft in Ford products. So he put Motorcraft synthetic oil in there. So he changed the fuel filter on the coach, air filter, oil filter, and 6 quarts or 7, however much oil it takes, put synthetic oil in it.
Really, we did a third thing too.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get to that in a minute.
Okay.
So for doing that work, $405 to service both the generator and to service the coach. Now, I had that same work done 18 months ago at Bay Diesel in Red Bay, Alabama. It was $200 more at Bay Diesel. So, and Bay Diesel's the one they ended up calling, trying to find a recommendation that send me down to Kimbrough's, I think is the name of the place. Kimbrough's, Kimbrough's Automotive and Generator Repair in
Tuscumbie, Alabama.
Tuscumbie, Alabama. They got some weird names around here. But since they are the person that does all the tire work for the Tiffin factory, Cindy said, why don't we get them to check?
A, we know we're getting close on needing tires.
But we're not.
B, we have been saving up so that we knew we had enough money set aside in case we do have a blowout or need tires.
Right, but that's the money that went to Greg's funeral.
Right. Stop. But anyway, so I said, well, they've got the tires and rims and everything. A, let's get a price for how much approximately. We understand that, you know, when we get around to doing it, it's going to be more, but we got a budget for it, right? We got to set aside money and save money for it. So we wanted to get a price, and I said, let's get them to check our tires before we do this 2,000-mile trek.
Right, so he said that is very unusual that the coach is a 2019, the chassis is a 2019, the generator's a 2019, and the tires are all dated 2019. It says usually when you get a new coach, if you look at the date code, the tires are a year, maybe 2 years old. So he said that the tires looked like we had plenty of wear left on them. He didn't find any cracking. He said we should be able to get 7 years. He says he doesn't recommend anybody going past 7 years, but he said we should get 7 years out of these tires. So we got 2 more years at the way we travel on these tires, and it's because...
But we'll be keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, but I think a lot of it is we don't use the tire covers like everybody else that has the plastic ones that encase it.
The whole tire.
Yeah, we've got, what was the name of the company we got?
MagnaShade.
We got MagnaShade tire covers. They just go on the front. They keep the sun from beating down on the tire, but does not trap all the humidity and moisture and the heat around the tire. So we're good. We're gonna stay at this campground one more night.
Just so we can just chill out.
We didn't realize how
stressed out we had gotten at the last campground.
Yeah, because we were there for almost 7 months, beat up by the wind every day.
Yeah.
Temperature up and down. And
we had been through a lot at that campground because we were on our 3rd campground manager, which is stressful anyway because whenever there's a leadership change, you just never know what it's going to be. So we had done that 3 times. We had been through the holidays and traveling.
Yeah.
And then the passing of our son and having to travel home unexpectedly.
It was a tough season.
And then just, you know, getting back and trying to get back into the swing of things. And then shortly after we got back, we got another new manager. And, you know, our frame of mind is not still 100% yet after everything.
Yeah, it's only been 2 months since our son passed.
So we're still trying to find our new normal. And so instead of hitting the road again today, we decided, we found this cute little campground. We said, you know what, we're going to go try that out and just sit for a couple of days and chill out before we get on the road good again. But we did make new travel plans.
Our travel plan originally, when we got here and we were sitting and talking and over lunch, was to go to the Grand Canyon. And so Cindy started doing some research and
our route changed because we weren't planning to come all the way to Alabama.
No.
When we were in Texas and I was making our original plans.
Yes.
So we decided to wait till we got here to Alabama. We got everything fixed and then we would start looking at what our travel plans were going to look like. So everything when we put in West Yellowstone wants us to go up 70 through Colorado.
Which I don't want to go through Denver.
Which we've all heard that Vail Pass in Colorado on 70 is very nerve-wracking.
And it's
not impossible, but it's nerve-wracking.
But it's still subject to snow.
True.
Because it's so high. It's the highest point of the Continental Divide to cross.
And so we decided we didn't want to do that. And then they had you going up to I-80 or I-90.
Right.
Those were the 3 options.
So we're going to take the long route.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
We're going 40.
Just because of the time of the year, and like you said, we could still run into snow.
And that was too stressful when we went to Minnesota in February trying to cross the Continental Divide and had to change directions 3
times. So we've decided probably the easiest, more direct route is going to be, we're not far from I-40 where we are now.
Maybe a half hour to an hour.
So we're going to get on I-40 and we're going to take I-40 across over to Utah, right?
Yep.
And then get on 15.
I think it's 15. We may have to do a couple of small roads before we get to 15.
Before we get into 15. But then get on to 15 and shoot straight up to West Yellowstone.
So where are we going to go see?
Well, we know for sure, unless I find some roadside attractions in
when
my
we say
research.
For sure, that's 75% chance.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure. We're up to 80.
No, we are going to the petrified forest.
Right.
How's that?
Yep. 80% sure.
Might find some roadside attractions.
Here and there.
Here and there, if I can get him to veer off course a little bit. Which, if you've looked at some of our other videos, me getting him to go to the petrified forest is, I'm doing good.
Going to Texas, we made 2 stops in Utah. We did Arches.
Okay, and that's the first time in our lifetime we've deviated.
I doubt that. But anyway,
you're not very convincing.
I've made a commitment. We're going to start trying to venture out. But we've also got to be there by May 10th. And we've got 2,000 miles to drive. And
I understand.
Petrified Forest is a 2 or 3 day stay.
Probably 2, because we'll spend the night when we get there. I'm not sure, but from everything I'm reading, we may be able to do it in a day like we did Arches in a day. But so we'll end up 2 nights there.
Right. So if we're not leaving here till tomorrow, which is what's tomorrow's the 20. No, we're not leaving here to the 26th. Today's the 20. Today's the 24th.
Today's
Tomorrow's
Wednesday.
25th.
Thursday. We're leaving here on Friday.
And so hopefully we'll get there on the 30th or the 1st.
I don't
and that'll
know.
give us 9 days to finish the trip. Spend 2 days. That's going to give us 7 days. So we may not be able to do another stop. I want to get to West Yellowstone a day or 2 early so we can decompress and get the house set up, because we have to go to work on the 10th. Right, Fred?
Like I said.
So that's where we are. The generator's fixed, the tires are good, the engine is serviced.
Which is all absolutely wonderful news.
We're decompressing. Cindy took a 4-hour nap today. I took a 2-hour nap. And let me show you the sunset that's behind us.
Isn't this gorgeous? At this campground we found by happenstance.
Absolutely gorgeous. All right, we're gonna sign off now.
So we're gonna go try to get a really good night's rest. Maybe go on an adventure tomorrow.
Yeah, we're thinking about going to Helen Keller's birthplace. That's close. We're in her birth town, I guess.
So I think that'll be interesting.
Yep.
So
I want to turn off all the lights and experience it like she did.
You're so retarded. Anyway, so we're gonna go sightseeing and exploring tomorrow, and check back with us to see what we find.
Yep. So stay safe on the road. We'll see you on travel day 5.